The Pentagon has rejected Poland's offer to give the United States its MiG-29 fighter jets for use by Ukraine. Key points: Ukraine has been pleading for more warplanes as Russian attacks continue. Ukraine has been pleading for more warplanes as Russian attacks continue. Poland wanted to hand off 28 of the Soviet-made MiG jets. Poland wanted to hand off 28 of the Soviet-made MiG jets. Russia says supporting Ukraine's Air Force would be seen as participating in the conflict and could lead to retaliation. Pentagon spokesman John Kirby said Poland's proposal to deliver the jets to the U.S. Ramstein Air Base in Germany raised the concerning prospect of jets departing from a U.S. and NATO base to fly into airspace contested by Russia. We will continue to consult with Poland and our other NATO allies about this issue and the difficult logistical challenges it presents. But we do not believe Poland's proposal is a tenable one, Mr. Kirby said in a statement. It is simply not clear to us that there is a substantive rationale for it. Any decision to provide the MiGs would be a morale booster for Ukraine, as Russian attacks on its cities deepen the humanitarian catastrophe. But it also would raise the risks of a wider war. A senior U.S. diplomat said Poland's announcement came as a surprise. To my knowledge, it wasn't pre-consulted with us that they planned to get these planes to us, U.S. Undersecretary of State Victoria Nuland said. Poland wants others to swap MiGs. The U.S. Air Force has a squadron of F-16s at an airbase near Fetesti in Romania. Ukraine has been pleading for more warplanes, and Washington has been looking at a proposal under which Poland would supply Ukraine with the MiG-29s and in turn receive American F-16s. Ukrainian pilots are trained to fly the Soviet-era MiG fighter jets. The Polish Foreign Ministry announced the plan in a statement, which said the jets would be delivered to Ramstein free of charge. At the same time, Poland requests the United States to provide us with used aircraft with corresponding operational capabilities, it said. The Polish government also appealed to other owners of MiG-29 jets to follow suit. Former Soviet bloc NATO members Bulgaria and Slovakia also still have Soviet-made fighter jets in their air forces. Poland's decision to publicly float its plan came the day before U.S. Vice President Kamala Harris was scheduled to depart for Warsaw for talks with Polish officials. The talks were expected to focus largely on U.S. efforts to help Poland and other Eastern European nations that had taken in some 2 million refugees since the war started almost 2 weeks ago. Russia warns against supplying jets. Supplying fighter jets to Ukraine could be viewed by Russia as entering the conflict. The handover of Poland's 28 Soviet-made MiG-29s would signal Western resolve to do more to deter Russia. Militarily, it would be unlikely to be a game changer. The number of aircraft is relatively small. The MiG-29s also are inferior to more sophisticated Russian aircraft and could be easy prey for Russian pilots and Russian missiles. Russia has warned that supporting Ukraine's Air Force would be seen in Moscow as participating in the conflict and open up suppliers to possible retaliation. It would also weaken Poland's own Air Force at a time of heightened danger in Eastern Europe. A transfer of the MiGs to Ukraine is fraught with complications, as neither NATO nor the European Union want to be seen as directly involved in the transaction, which will significantly raise already extreme tensions with Russia. The US has no plan to directly transfer the planes to Ukraine. Kosovo could become funnel for jets. US and Polish officials have been considering a variety of options. One begins with the donation of Poland's MiGs to the United States, as Poland announced on Tuesday. Under one scenario that has been floated, Poland would deliver the fighter jets to the US base in Germany, where they would be repainted and flown to a non-NATO, non-European Union country. Ukrainian pilots would then come to fly them to Ukraine, under that proposal. No country has been publicly identified as a transit point, but Kosovo, a non-aligned country that is very friendly with the United States, has been mentioned as one of several nations that might be willing to serve as a middleman. Polish Prime Minister Mateusz Morawiecki said any decision about delivering offensive weapons must be made unanimously by NATO members. This is why we are able to give all of our fleet of jet fighters to Ramstein, but we are not ready to make any moves on our own because we are not a party to this war, he said. M to mute, left and right arrows to seek, up and down arrows for volume. Watch 3 minutes 23 seconds 3 minutes and 23 seconds. What is China's role in the Ukraine conflict? ABC, AP.